Huzzah! We are live.
Yes, let's go. Just put my weapon back.
Hey,
Hey,
you all right, mate?
yeah, not so bad, not so bad. I've heard it's really bad form to eat or drink on a webcast.
On that,
Vimto,
Vimto.
Vimto la la. Right,
So,
trying to
mate,
get alive.
I thought we'd have a do a bit of a live stream.
Yeah,
Now, if people have noticed, there's people actually dropping in. I can see there's people dropping in, which is good. That means
madness.
the link got out to people. That's nice.
Excellent.
But if people haven't realised now that this channel was formerly the Masters of the 80s channel and has now become the home of Wigan Cult Film Club.
Yes, indeed it
Um,
has.
yeah. I was thinking about it all night, like I do, overthinking things. And I thought, well, Master of the 80s channel's not doing a great deal at the moment, and it's gone a little bit stale, and I've not really done much content with it, but it's got an audience, and an audience of people that either tune into stuff like this or watch the videos I put up. So I thought, well, seems a little bit stupid in me not to be doing much for that channel anymore, and us trying to push another channel when there was a ready-made audience here, and
Yeah.
all the features were already unlocked on this, and I was earning a couple of pound off it every month. So I thought, well, why not just migrate everything over to here? So biggity bam, here we are.
Here we are, indeed. Yes. Only problem is you have to share it with me now.
Well,
Terrible.
mate, no, it's brilliant. I've been wanting to share it with somebody for years, and
Well,
normally
well,
it's just me just rambling.
maybe it'll double the earnings and we can get some crisps.
No smelly beef ones, or no one smelly beef crisps.
Oh, beef, the beef lick. I'm pretty sure it's not actual beef taste. It's just lard.
Oh yeah, I mean that's if you two noticed, there wasn't any crisps last the other week.
No,
What?
this is big. This is big news, folks. The where we host generous hosts of our film evening every month at Anderton's Bar in Wigan didn't have any crisps in the last one.
What?
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to change my vote.
I vote crisp reform.
But in a panicked emergency state, I ran over the road to a newsagent who seems to be open all night, and
He never closes.
he just looked like he does. You can tell by his sound is still like that one. I said, "Listen, mate, if I buy loads of crisps, can you give us a bag so I can carry them over the road?" And he went, "Nay." So brilliant. I'll repeat customer. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yeah. He's just fueled on Benson and Edges and Red Bull.
Looks that way. Nice to know he's there though. If I ever get like a mad urge for Space Raiders at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, or a copy of Razzle.
Then crisps took the skin off the roof of my mouth that night. I think I had too many.
Space Raiders though, can't go wrong with Space Raiders.
Combined with Bloodsport and Time Cop, nothing left of the inside of my mouth. It was a good one the other night, wasn't it? It was really enjoyed.
It was really good. Like you pointed out, I think it was probably the first time in 8 months that people actually sat down and watched the film and heard we spoke. I mean, like people's enthralled in Bloodsport. I mean, of all films, Bloodsport piques people's attentions.
We've had like actual classic films on. We've had The Thing and Predator and stuff like that. We put Bloodsport on, and everyone's like, "Look at his eyes and Bolo." The young lads and like one of them was going, "Size of him! Look where his nipples are! Look where his nipples are!" I kept saying, "Oh man!"
He kept going. He can't be doing that. I said, "Doing what?" He said, "Them splits." I said, "Of course he's doing splits. He can't. No one can do that. He can. He's obviously doing it.
It's his career. You know, he's an action figure that's alive.
He made a living out of being able to do the splits. You know what I mean? It was
yeah.
That's some really, really shit dancing.
Yeah, and winking and going. That head movement, but he can't stop doing it. He's like, all right. He's like the fella from the Carry On films. Hey, pork roll. That's his name.
Yeah. What is his? I can't do his name.
I can't remember. Is it Jack? Is it Jack Summit? Oh,
Yeah, he's always going.
yeah. Hey, woo, hey, no, it's like that, yeah. Bit of that, yeah. Top stuff. Right, so a big
But it
stopover.
was, yeah. It's obviously there's a ready-made audience of this channel. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it made perfect sense to bring everything over to you. Obviously,
Yeah.
all the social tabs are open on this channel as well as, so we can post social comments and photos and pictures and stuff like that as well, which always helps to the whole YouTube stuff.
See, I like that with this type of stuff and with any social media. I make the basic presumption that absolutely nobody will be listening. Right? So if then you get one, you're like, what's up with them? You know, but if you get one, then yeah, good, you know. But the fact is, we're going to do this anyway. It's kind of nice if people do watch along or watch it the next day or whatever it is. But I have to, you know, get out my head, sitting here in the corner of the room drawing all day and night, and then not speaking to humans. So need the outlet, and once a month at Anderton's is great, but I could live with it being once a week. I've got to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's obviously multiple thoughts running through my head about different things that we could possibly do. And as numbers pick up, and as the sort of like demographic of person sort of changes each month, because you know what I mean, it's nice to see different people constantly turning up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it, last week?
Yeah, different walks of life, different outlooks on life. It's cool. And I think we're getting a nice female contingent there as well now, which is a bit of a boost, because what they're deciding to do now is fuck us off and watch films of their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. We know it's working when someone says, "Oh, your idea is great. Maybe we'll stay at home and do something."
You can all come round to my house. You know, fucking hell, like, you know what I mean? So, and the beauty of going live as well, Dave, is you can do things like this. Ba-boom! Hello, Crusher. Hello, Crusher. How's it going, man? I hope you're well. It's been a long while, Paul, since I've done a live stream. And I know you normally used to see my ugly mug. But now you've got both of us.
Well, there's this one as well, Papoy.
Crusher has a channel as well where he does a lot of wrestling content and gaming content. He collects a lot of DVD and Blu-rays as well as he's into his martial arts stuff. So it's nice to hear from you, Crusher.
Yeah, excellent. So he's challenged mentally like us as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody that follows this channel, mate, is sort of like on the same wavelengths as us.
Yeah. Well, watching them lot dive into the case of distaste last Thursday, there's a lot of mental challenging going on.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice. Well, it was lovely of Rob to fill the case of distaste with loads of sexy films.
Some proper good ones in there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, normally what happens with a case is it just sort of sits there month after month, and a couple of titles may go out of it. It was like a mad rush. Everyone just piled in all at once for all these like dead good films that Robert put in there.
It was like bargain hour at Asda, and all the whoops stickers go on at 4 o'clock or something.
10p for a full chicken.
Mate, those days are gone. You go in now and it's like £7 or something for a chicken, and it says reduced £6.90, and you're like, that's not a reduced. When you used to walk home from the train station and nip into Morrison's, and there wasn't the contingent of like old women all ready to go, or you were taller than them, you could just go over the top of them like that. And you go, well, I'll take them 7 chickens at that. And I'd get home and say, love, I've spent 70 pence. What have you got? A farm. Sort of stuff. Man, I miss like going in there and getting a million bargains.
Yeah, I just miss the Morrisons in the town centre in general. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. Well, it's just dust now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. There he is. What's he saying? I am okay, not too bad. I used to collect Blu-ray and DVD and VHS, but not sure much anymore. Oh, just collect swords, mate. That's the way we're all going.
Yeah,
Swords.
Crusher collects a lot of vintage video games as well, isn't he?
Oh, top
So
stuff. Yeah,
yeah, so some top dollar in them at the moment.
yeah. Get yourself an ET. Is
Yeah,
it? Is it? I think I saw
yeah.
a copy of it in Japan once, like in a cupboard on its own.
It's
Oh,
the one that everyone wants is the one that was been dug up from the Nevada desert. The ones that got
yeah,
buried.
that was the one, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Was it what?
ET. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
think it was
ET.
ET.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It did go out. They made something like 12 billion copies of it. I think they
yeah.
sold about 7 of them, and the rest of them they just like destroyed them and dumped them in a site in the Nevada desert. But then someone found them and dug them all up. Oh,
Well, it's a good use of your time, isn't it? Good use of your
yeah,
time, that.
yeah,
So we,
massively.
so so speaking of films and stuff that we don't collect,
Yes,
um, we've had a new cinema open in Wigan this week, haven't we?
we certainly have. Yeah,
No, we haven't been up yet, personally, but there's a couple of people we know have been up, and they've been
mm.
posting a few videos because they went to an open night last night.
Yeah.
Um,
There was
I,
an open VIP night. Yeah,
yeah, well, I mean, they do. It looks like, it looks like you'd expect a cinema too. You got your snacks and all that kind of stuff. But what I do like is they seem to be doing a series of films regularly where they're showing classic films. So they've got
yes,
Back to the Future this week and Jaws, and there was something else as well. I can't remember what the other one was. But if that's a regular thing, an
yeah.
an 11.99 a month ticket
A month. Yeah,
is
use as much as you want.
not dear at all, really, is it?
No, 12 quid. No, drop one of your
Yeah,
streaming services because they're all the shit anyway. But to drop one of your streaming services
yeah,
and bang another 6 quid on top, you've got
yeah.
a night. You've got a night out every weekend. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah. And the other thing that the other cinema used to, I mean, if it's our mate I believe our mate who used to work at Empire's back there,
he is back there. Yeah,
working again, which is great news because
yeah,
he was keen to make that last place work, wasn't
yeah. It
he?
was.
And if he's got anything to do with scheduling and stuff like that, I'm hoping they'll do the Sunday club for kids again because our lad loved going up on a Sunday and just putting, well,
Yeah,
Minions or whatever else on, but it was like a
yeah.
couple of quid.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It didn't really matter what the film was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just about going out for a little bit, couple of quid,
Mm.
bit of entertainment. You know what I mean?
Every so often, they'd throw something on, like, so you'd have your Minions and you'd have whatever else is your bog standard stuff, but then they put on, I might have told you before, they put on, is it Marcel the Shell with shoes on?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
said yeah.
And he loved it. It was like, I wouldn't have thought to take him to like a whimsical sort of like hipster animation about a shell, but he was well into it. He really enjoyed it. Like, so hopefully,
Yeah,
if those guys have got something to do with the scheduling again, then should be on for a winner.
you'd like to think so. And I mean, I had a quick look this afternoon on my lunch break to see what was being booked, see and how many seats have been gone in certain screenings for tonight.
Yeah, yeah,
And obviously, we've seen pictures of those. Like, they're not really a bed. It's not really a couch. It's like a weird, like chaise long looking thing
yeah.
that
It's
they've
like a
got.
psychiatrist couch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? And
Yeah,
but they're all of them at the front of the screens.
yeah,
So, which is quite cool. You can lay back, look up.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
probably a decent viewing angle.
yeah.
Every one of them. I can't think what the film was, but every one of them was sold out across the front.
How was it?
Yeah,
Well,
which
to
was
be honest,
cool.
you're best getting it on the first night because it's going to be covered in biz from now on. Those
Yes.
two cushions on each one of those beds will be absolutely riddled. I
Yeah.
don't, I'm not sure if, like, I mean, it's one thing going on somebody else's seat, but what are they going to get up to on a bed at the front of
Yeah.
watching a film?
Yeah, there'll be all kinds going on. You know
There's
what
all
I mean?
kinds of
It's
spillages and bloody popcorn, nuts, and whatever else.
nuts in general, mate. I think you know
Nuts
what I
in
mean.
general, yeah, and a bit of
Yeah,
nacho cheese and whatever else.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know about that. No, no.
Uh, but like I said, these guys seem to have got the right idea to what to be
Yeah.
doing with it. You know what I mean? And they pumped 3.9 million quid into the place.
Yeah, I mean, it
So
looks pretty good.
you know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
that was one of the things with the last place, because like I never remember the guy's name. Do you remember his name? The guy who worked at Empire.
The manager.
Yeah, he was at Wigan Comic Con a couple of times, and we chatted to him a few times.
Yeah,
Um, Lovely lad, but
yeah, I can't remember what his name is.
you could tell, like, when you talk to him about what he wanted to do with the cinema. It was all about him wanting to engage and use the social media more and get people in and get chatting with
Yeah,
people and stuff like that, which is what you've got to do with everything nowadays. And it looked like he was quite stifled by what Empire were doing. And these guys have been like, they're doing updates on, like, opening the actual cinema. It's like, oh, we're doing some building today. You think
yeah,
that's how you get people in, by talking to them, and
yeah,
when they ask questions, tell them what you've got coming up, tell them what's going to happen.
yeah. They're really engaging as well. I mean, I've messaged them a couple of times. Well, I said message more like moided them really, but
Yeah,
and they've been bang on. Message you back within 20 minutes. They're friendly
yeah,
about it. They're polite,
yeah,
answering questions. Brilliant. You know what I mean? It's what you want. The place looks really nice as well as
yeah,
they've made it look like an old 50s kind of style inside. So as you
yeah,
walk
yeah,
in,
yeah,
where the ticket office is and that, and where the popcorn stand is and everything,
yeah.
they've made it look like an old school 50s kind of theatre, which
Well,
is cool. It is.
they made it look like the old style, like, where you put the names on at the Ritz in Wigan.
They
Where
have, yeah,
you go and hang the letters on the
yeah,
wire. So that's kind of a nice look to it. The only thing that it was triggering me a bit there was, like, I'm looking at all the food they were doing, and I'm
yeah,
thinking, we've been without a cinema for so long, and we've been watching films in Andertons for so
yeah.
long that I've forgotten that people bring their bloody tea in with them. You know, I'll just have this massive stinking hot dog, this boiled meat with a load of onions on it, and I'll just go nom
Yeah.
nom nom, do it, have it dead loud. So as much as I fancy going seeing some stuff, uh, I'm thinking, like, oof, I hope they've got someone in there with, like, a spear, right, ready for anyone who's on the phone, like that. Or, like, ready for anyone who's, like, getting the, because I went to pictures once and somebody got a plate out and had the tea with a knife and fork. I don't want that. I'm not looking forward to that. I hope they've got someone in there saying, "I'm sorry, sir, but you'll have to take your tacos home." I think, I go, people
Yeah.
can't be quiet. I read a tweet this week. Someone said, they were talking to a work colleague or something, and they said, "Oh, I can't wait to watch such a thing, Furiosa or whatever it was, like, because it's on at home now." And he said, "Well, why don't you watch it at the pictures?" I said, "Oh, I can't sit there in the pictures for that long and not, like, have a break or, like, check things out on my phone and stuff." And he's saying, "Oh, how do you even know you've seen a film?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's this?
It's 2 hours out of your life,
Just sit
mate. Deal
quiet
with
for
it.
two bloody hours, right?" Oh man, honestly, it should
Yeah.
be. There should be a big bag of salt by the front door of the cinema, and if you get your phone out at any time during the film, you get your legs peeled and you have to walk through it on the way out, because it's the only thing that makes sense. Absolute idiots. How do you even let him in? You know.
Yeah. I think because of it's been a long time since there's been an usher in a
Oh
cinema.
no, yeah, yeah,
Um, you know what I mean? I can always remember ushers being in cinemas when I was younger.
yeah.
People just do what the fuck they want now, don't they? You know what I
Oh
mean?
god, yeah.
But I think
I,
this place opening has just come at the right time, really. And
yeah.
this company seems to know what it's doing, where other companies seem to be lacking. Because I've read today that Cineworld are
Oh
really
yeah,
struggling,
yeah,
and they're closing a quarter of the major theatres,
yeah. I believe
which is
so.
a
Yeah.
is is a is
I,
is, is a real bad, because they're the second largest cinema chain in the world, I think.
right. Okay. Bloody hell. Right. Are,
Mm.
are they? I saw something about it. Might be affecting Lee. Is it Cineworld at Lee?
Cineworld's at Lee, yeah.
Mm.
I've been to that one a couple of times. It's a hovel. It's a
Yeah.
horrible, soulless place.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shame. But the Cineworld at Warrington,
Yeah.
we saw Godzilla Minus One there when it first came out.
Right.
It's one of the single best cinema experiences I've ever had. It was
Yeah.
unreal how good it was.
Yeah. That's
Their
great fun,
IMAX
though, isn't it? Yeah.
screen was yeah. Their IMAX screen was the largest screen I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't take it all in. The screen was that big, and the
Yeah.
quality
Yeah.
of it was breathtaking. But the one
It,
at
it,
Lee
it
hasn't
is. I
got
mean,
hasn't got that facility.
no, it is, and it is. I mean, IMAX is the dream, but you get a load of cinemas now. Like they've these guys in Wigan have got a new type of screen, the Max or something like that. And
Yeah, Max.
it's not going to be IMAX size, I'm guessing, because of the size of the
Mm.
building. But there's loads of cinemas doing that now, aren't there? Where they'll put like projections around the side of the wall
Side up.
or
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. And I'm not particularly down with the gimmicks. I think if you've just got a nice, dead clear, big screen with
yeah,
brilliant sound, you're on a winner. You don't really need anything else.
yeah.
Um,
I'm not sure what Max actually is because it's MAXX.
yeah, I'm
So
guessing it's probably just their biggest screen. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I know the Screen One when it was Empire, it was just the one with the most seats in it. It was the biggest
yeah,
screen, so it's just about getting that bigger experience with more people in there, which is a good thing when you've got a good film on.
yeah.
It's not when people are eating the tea, but um,
But like I say, it's. I mean, Lauren and Morgan they have monthly passes for Cineworld.
yeah,
I think the 15.99 the Cineworld ones.
yeah,
But what that'll allow them to do now is cancel those ones, buy the
yeah,
11.99 ones from
yeah.
Omniplex,
Just walk
and
it.
walk it. They don't have to
Yeah,
drive into Leeds. They don't have to drive into Warrington. They can just
yeah,
walk over the roads, go
yeah,
straight in, saving money, no parking, cheaper ticket. So,
yeah. It's mad how much you miss having it in the town when you haven't got
oh,
it.
huge,
Because
huge.
I mean, I've never really rated the Empire one, but if there was something on and your mates fancied it at the same time as you did,
Yeah,
then you've got that option of going watching something. But
yeah,
the fact when we didn't have one, I mean, we know because like we started watching it in a bar with like some fella shouting in the corner and playing pool, out of focus with bad sound. But
yeah,
we needed that experience. We needed
yeah.
that thing of watching it with people and talking about it later on and stuff. Not the same, just switching it on in your house and sitting there and pausing it
No,
and
it's
whatever else.
no, it's not. And I don't think even people our age, still understand going to the cinema because they just think,
No,
"Oh,
yeah,
I've got everything on my TV now."
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
See, the
But you've
way the way
not.
I see
You've
it
not
is
got everything on your TV.
no, the way I see it is it's not just that the film it's doing its best to entertain you. You're part of the deal as well. You commit to 2 hours in the dark and
Yeah,
letting someone tell you a story in their way. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's been the internet's come along and everyone starts reviewing stuff saying it's rubbish and I don't like it and you're supposed to listen to me and all that stuff. All of that kind of started because we were losing the experience of being forced to sit in the dark for a particular amount of time while somebody tells you their story their way.
yeah,
And as soon as people started having a choice of like watching at home or streaming or Netflixing or whatever else, suddenly everyone's an expert, right? And I remember when they did that last episode of Game of Thrones, everyone was like, people actually got a petition together to remake the last episode of Game of Thrones, and I'm thinking, I can't think of anything more horrifically offensive in life than going telling someone who's put a load of effort into something, listen, I know you made this, but you're gonna have to go make it again, mate. Like,
dead
I'm
shit.
sorry,
It's dead
I'm
shit. Go for it, do
sorry,
it.
I'm sorry, Van Gogh, mate, but I'm not digging that sky. You should sort it out, get it sorted. I mean, how arrogant is that to say, like, I know your vision better than you? You know what I mean? But anyway,
Yeah,
getting back to the point, the whole thing in cinema is you sit there and you let that person tell you that story. And in some cases it works, in some cases it doesn't. But when it really works, like if you get in there and you're in a good horror and you crap yourself for 2 hours, right?
yeah.
Nothing like that. You don't get that at home because you're not trapped. Pause
No,
it anytime you want, go and have a poo, do whatever
yeah.
you want to do. You're not in the experience that the director's made for you. And you don't get that unless you commit to it yourself, and that's what's getting lost is the
Yeah,
commitment. Because
massively.
I remember shouting at some fella like because Iron Man comes on 5 minutes into Iron Man and he's on the phone, and I just screamed. I just had enough of like putting up with these things in my peripheral vision. I said, "Put the
Yeah,
fucking phone away, for God's sake!" Like that. And he's like, "Oh, just checking someone. Don't come in if you're just
yeah,
checking
yeah.
something.
Fuck
Like,
off
if you
outside.
know you've got to check your phone, do it outside. You
Yeah,
just cost me like 10 quid because I'm watching you instead of the goddamn film. You think just commit to it, just sit down, let it tell you the story,
yeah,
and come out at the end, and then decide whether you like it or not, or whether you want to tell your mates or whatever. That whole
yes,
thing of, I mean, it comes back to what we do with the club. We're putting it on because we want people to have the experience we've had with that film. I mean,
yeah,
it's rare we put one on that we haven't seen ourselves. There's been a couple I haven't seen that you brought along, and I'm not sure
yeah,
everyone saw the Christmas Martian before before I suggested that piece of crap. But but in those scenarios, you see people take a little bit more like attention because I know I do. If it's something I haven't seen, I want to be watching it. You know.
yeah. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is, isn't it? I've never understood why people would spend their own money to
Yeah.
go in to a movie theater to watch a film and then spend 90% of the time on the phone
Yeah.
or talking to a friend. Just don't get it. Don't
Yeah,
understand it.
because you don't get
It's
the thing you've paid for. It's like going in the
no.
restaurant saying, yeah, bring me that brilliant steak, please, £30.
Yeah, yeah,
Thanks, pal.
yeah,
Just chucking it like that. And then going, I'm dead, I'm
yeah.
still
Take
hungry.
take it away. Take it
Yeah,
away.
I'm still hungry. Time to do a review. That steak was biz. You think, get lost, just commit to it. And that's the whole thing. There's one thing sticks in my mind whenever we've been over to Japan, the few times we've gone to Disneyland over there, and I've been
Yeah,
to a couple of Disneys like in America and that. And the Disney in Tokyo, there's an entirely different vibe, and it's because they all commit to it. They all turn up, all the punters, and loads of families get dressed up. You know, so
yeah.
if like some mums lost their kids, security will say, "Look, what do they look like?" Say, "Oh, well, they're dressed as the seven dwarfs. You can't miss them." They go as groups and they make an effort as a group, or even like couples or individuals. If they go to the parade, they'll take all their toys with them, like that they've got of that particular character, so that they wave them.
Yeah,
They commit to it as much as the people who are selling you the stuff, who are doing the dancing and doing the presenting and whatever else. And it lifts the whole place because you walk round and you think it's like when you go to a Comic Con and some people have put a costume on, right? But the rest of them are just dressed like this, right? It's fun in its own way, but it's a
yeah,
definite mix. You've got people going past as Deadpool holding a goddamn speaker up, and then like mums
yeah,
going past going, shut up with that, and you think, oh, you're breaking the magic. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But you go to Tokyo Disney and everyone's in it. Everyone's in it, and it suddenly lifts it, and then you get that when you have like a midnight showing somewhere of a film that everyone really wants to watch. Do you remember when um, we were starting to get people making noise in cinemas, but then they started to do midnight showings of stuff like the Star Wars is back in the olden days, the prequels and things like that. And
yeah.
I'd
Because
go up,
we watched the last two prequels. We watched 2 and 3. Me and you.
yeah,
No,
is it
was it just
Middlebrook?
3 at Middlebrook? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
because we wanted to. First of all, you want to see it before somebody spoils it for you nowadays.
yeah,
But secondly, you got there and you look round and you think everyone here wants to see this. Everyone here is committed to coming to watch this film, and you didn't have to worry about someone getting the phone out. You didn't have to worry about someone
yeah,
like talking through it or whatever else. They're all there to see it. And I think when Yoda started fighting Count Dooku, that was the first time I'd heard an English audience go, "Go on that way!" And I all start shouting, because they all committed to being there. And I thought,
yeah.
this is what you need. You need that statement over the cinema doors. If you're coming in, shut up, turn your phone off, and enjoy the film. You know what I mean? I know they do that with the adverts, but the
Yeah,
adverts don't work.
it's not, no, it's just not the same, is it? You know what I mean?
You
It's
yeah, millionaires telling me to turn my phone off. It's like I don't know.
but I mean, if Lee Cineworld does go, obviously it's basically doing the same thing as what happened here in Wigan. It just leaves a big void. So
Yeah,
it's a massive premises that's probably never going to get used again.
yeah,
Or if they decide that, well, another cinema chain may come in. But in Lee, what it will
yeah,
do, if it does go, It'll help our fellow brethren at the Lee Film Factory.
That it will. Yeah, yeah.
And hopefully it will be packing the place out for them because they truly deserve it.
Yeah, yeah.
The stuff that them guys
That
do
place
over there,
that
it's
place is
phenomenal.
gold, isn't it?
Yeah,
That place is gold.
it's brilliant.
You know what it reminds me of? You know when you see clips of people who've like built a cinema in the back garden, or they've made a pub or something like that. And there's part-time people who come along, and, like dads who are bored, and they'll put like a bar in a shed and whatever, and you go, oh, like whatever. But then you get the people who've done it properly. You get the people who have made the thing that they love to see.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And you go into that building and you're walking around going, oh, are we going to get killed in here? Right, in this mill in the middle of the
it's
night.
just an old Victorian mill.
And you're going through endless doors and you're thinking this is where people get killed, or where the devil has a fight or something. But you go down the corridor and you turn into that little doorway and you think, oh my God, they've made it like they want to be here. You know what I mean? You've got that lobby you'd happily sit in all night.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, the cinema itself's dead comfy. The sound's great, the picture's great, and the people who are showing the film dig it loads.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Yeah,
yeah, and they went out of their own way to build that themselves. They didn't bring a specialist company in. They didn't have any idea what they was doing. They just decided to have a go at it, raise some money themselves, and did it themselves. So this was people who had no idea about screwdrivers and screws and levels and measuring or whatever. They just had a go, and the outcome of it is phenomenal.
I know,
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
You mean I'm sure they travelled all the way up to Scotland in 2 vans just to rescue 100 seats out of a cinema that was closing.
Is that why they've got so many?
Because they were free. All they had to do was take them out the cinema themselves, so they got 100 free seats, and they transported all them back down to Lee. And you can see where the love and attention has been put.
Yeah, even with all that sort of DIY-ness to it, it feels like cinema. They've got all those little touches, like the way the brightness of the lights, and how the room actually feels when you're in there watching the film and stuff like that. It's brilliant. It's a lovely little place.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching Flash Gordon last Saturday.
Oh yes, yeah.
Which was brilliant. You know what I mean? I've seen Flash Gordon hundreds of times. I love Flash Gordon. It's great. It's a great film, but I'd never seen it on a bigger screen. And Robert got the 4K version, and they played the 4K version out, and it looked phenomenal on their setup. It looked really, really good. Sounded amazing. And then we do what we always do after the film's finished. We have the obligatory photograph. So everybody stands with the best pose in front of the screen. We get the photo. Then Rob says, we've got to know Rob over the last 12 months. And he said, do you want to go and have a look behind the scenes? And I was like, yes, please, Rob. Thank you very much. So we went and had a look behind, and he showed us the setup. And for me, who's a fucking tech nerd like that anyway, I was in seventh heaven. You know what I mean? It was fantastic.
And Rob incidentally is the provider of the first sticker for the case of distaste.
What did he put a sticker on?
Yeah. I brought it over. I think you were talking to someone, but he brought a sticker up. Can't remember what it said. Big yellow sticker. It's on the case now, so
cool.
It's the first edition we've had to it. Yeah.
Cool. It's and there's some here as well. Remind me, I've got some more stickers here as well that can go the case of this taste. But also the new couple that came this time, Kay and her husband. Halfway through the first film, he leant over to me. He said, "I've got some free things if you want them for the club. They're just sat in the attic." I was like, "Yeah, mate, yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you very much." I put him in. He said, "I've got a load of trauma stuff." I was like, "Okay." I am intrigued. What trauma stuff have you got, pray tell? And she went on to tell me, "Oh, he's got loads of stuff in the attic and just needs to get rid of it. Stickers, all kinds of stuff." I was like, "Right, yeah."
I was going to say, if you had a 10-foot Sergeant Kabuki man standee, you could put it in the library. Say, come to Wigan Film Club. Or Toxic Avenger in HMV.
Yeah. Could put something else up at library. Just get Lindsay going with it again while they all stand around laughing at her.
Do you mind putting up this poster of Jean-Claude doing the splits? I'm sorry it's not from the back where you can't see his bum, but we
I'm,
do
s-
our best.
I'm sorry it's in the A2 format, but it's like the social board that they had in the library was that big that it wouldn't fit on it anywhere, so they had to stick it at the side, just on a thing on its own.
Oh no
Where,
way!
where,
Also, all right.
where,
So we've got to make a smaller one for the library then.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I
Okay.
think we'll have to do some smaller ones as well because Danny, God bless him, keeps putting small ones up in Tesco's and someone keeps taking them back down
Taking
again.
them down. I can't blame him. My rotten posters, loads of biz on them. I wouldn't have had
But,
Insect Night poster up in my shop either.
hey, but what I'm thinking is it's not Tesco employees that are taking them down. It's the general public that wants that poster. That's who's taking them.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, they can have them. They can buy them directly from you for £1 from now on.
For one squiddly diddle, they can have a poster.
Yeah.
Crusher says, Flash Gordon is a fun superhero action movie. Lots of fun. It is, mate.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
I remember it. It's in. I remember it in the Ritz in Wigan, and it being an event film because I went to queue up. Like my mate Mike always reminds me that I got this wrong, but we and my brother went to queue up, and the queue came out the Ritz, up the street, round past John Menzies, and down the road, and obviously they only put on a couple of showings a night then.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get in for the first showing, you'd have to wait and then go in for the second one. And he said we're never getting in for that, so we went to watch what I thought was Herbie Goes Bananas for most of the night. And then Mike, the bloody Sherlock that he is, went on the internet and said, no, it was Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo was out that night. How did you find that out? Did you go back in time? There was I found some pictures. Did you see the best newspaper in the world, Wigan Today, this week? They had some shots of the Ritz, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's like proper, like good old ones, right? There was one from like the 60s or something that was a really good one of all these kids at the Saturday morning club, all dressed like cowboys, like that. But
Cool.
there was a film, and I remember it. I remember seeing it, and I think my mum liked it. It was something like it's not When the Wind Blows. It's not that horrific animation, but it was like a 70s film with an old fella, like a Grizzly Adams type of fella with the white beard and
Right.
the white hair, and he had a tiger. I can't remember what it was called. It was something like Where the Wind Blows or something like that, whatever it was. Anyway, as a promotion, they got a tiger in. And there's a picture of this fella, and someone's ironed him the words of the film on his top. Where the Wind Blows or something like this, whatever it was called. And he's got a tiger on a lead. And there's all these kids in the back, all like in the council cakes. Right, like with dirty faces. Oh, look at this tiger. You think, flipping egg, they brought a tiger to Wigan Pictures. Well, what happened to your brother? Didn't your brother die in the 70s? Yeah, got killed by a tiger in the pictures.
Got mauled at the Saturday morning kids club.
He got mauled going watching King of the Rocket Men. No way, but I had a vague memory of that film. This fella like living with a tiger. I'm gonna have to seek that out now, see if I can watch it again. It's probably one of them ones like that. Is it Raw? The one
Raw.
made in the 70s where everyone's getting battered by lions and
Yeah,
tigers
that's
from Melanie Griffith's mum and dad.
yeah. There was all like disclaimers had to be signed and all kinds of like people's heads being like fucking bit open, and it got released not long back by Sunday.
Yeah,
somebody
it
else
did, didn't
on
it?
here
Yeah,
will probably
yeah,
know
that's
better.
right,
I
yeah.
think it was like Kino Lorber, I think it was something like that. Put it out not long
Yeah.
back on Blu-ray,
Yeah.
and like for like a brief second when it first come out, everyone
Yeah.
was going nuts over it again because it was so crazy. People hadn't seen
Yeah.
it in years.
Yeah. What's he said? Captain America 1990.
1990.
Is that the one which got a massive helmet and a see-through
Yes.
shield?
Yes. Yeah, and he's on
motorbike,
like he's on like a KX125 scrambler.
Yeah, that's like the days of what was the other one? The Roger Corman Fantastic Four, where
Yes.
Sue Storm and Richards get married at the end, and as the limo's driving off, his arm comes out like that, that waving goodbye. It's a big string. Nice, that one.
The problem is with that Captain America 1990. Like, as a kid, when I was young, yeah, it was great. It was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But if you watch it back now, he's only actually in the costume for about 10 minutes of the film. The rest of it is just it's just Steve Rogers.
Yeah, but
He's like,
there's a value to making people wait. It's like you got to sit through all of Firefox, but then the last 10 minutes, boof, you get that jet.
yeah,
There's a value to making them wait. I mean, think about it. The Karate Kid is all about that last kick.
yeah, of course it is.
It's all that
It's
needs to happen.
the whole film is built up to it.
Yeah, it's waxing on, it's waxing off, whatever. He gets off with a girl, fights a skeleton, doesn't matter. It's all about that kick right at the end.
Yeah.
And being when you used to get a tape, right, and you've got Beverly Hills Cop or you've got like Firefox or something like that. I remember when they used to have like you get the VHS tape and it'd be like a reissue of a film that's been in the video shops, but it's just come out in Woolworths and it's got like a gold frame around the front, like, you know, and it's just got bog standard font on the side, Beverly Hills Cop or something like that. and then you put it on and you might have your favorite bit, but
Yeah.
even then when you were watching a VHS, it was still bloody hard work to get to the favorite bit. You know, I mean, maybe you'd rewind a bit with a boob in it or something like that, but it'd take a bit of a while to get to the favorite bit. So why not just sit and watch the whole film again and have an appreciation for the fact that you're going all the way through Firefox and then you get that jet at the end and you appreciate it that much more because
Yeah,
you
I
work
mean
for it, you know.
Yeah, I mean the good bits about those kinds of films, and I think it's why I've still got an appreciation for them, and I still go back to them. Is they're only 90 minutes long.
Yeah,
Like you don't have to invest half a day into a film.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's just it. It's a great time for a great run time for committing to it.
Yeah,
You're not committing 3.5 hours of running over Middle Earth or something like that. You're doing 90 minutes with like Eddie Murphy fighting the devil and the Golden Child or something. It's a nice amount of time to commit to, and then you make that commitment and then get that payoff. I don't even know what I'm saying now. Probably my own Vimto. My own Vimto.
But yeah, it's it's a lot of those sort of really early attempts at superhero films. You know what I mean? Yeah, Captain America. You look back at it now, it's a bit crappy. But I was obsessed with the Spider-Man films, the early Spider-Man films.
Nicholas Hammond.
Yeah. Was there three of those?
Well, there was the pilot, which was like the one where he runs down the alley and then he goes up the wall for the first time.
Yeah.
And then there was one where it was set in like it was either set in China or it was set in like Chinatown, I think.
Was that the Dragon Spider-Man?
Yeah, he has a fight on a big barge.
Dragon something, yeah.
Yeah, he has a fight on a big barge with a lot of dudes. But then I seem to remember, and I only remember this because I drew something from it. But there was another one where he fires his web at a twig, and he uses the twig and the web as a whip to fight a lion. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
And the only reason I remember it, I don't remember the film at all, but I drew that bit. Spider-Man going whoosh, like that, getting his web lion whip and going whoop, like that. And I should look for it, but I don't think I've even bothered Googling that. I just assumed that they were all one big like mushy mess, you know, over the 70s and 80s, like.
Yeah, I remember one where like the final scene is where he's got some kind of he's having some kind of fight on a rooftop with somebody else, and it just reminded me of like the revenge. It was like it was the ending of Revenge of the Ninja. It was like virtually the same ending. You know what I mean? It was
yeah. Yeah, but they've got to learn all that stuff, you know, from somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see what Canon would have done with it if Canon had got hold of it like that. They should have done. You know what I mean? They had the rights at one point. It was all ready to rock and roll.
I was off in them days. You could probably see a film and go, "That was good. Let's make that." Right, because that's pretty much what the 80s was, wasn't it? Like, that team film was brilliant. Let's make Eliminators.
That's why my shelves are just full of this kind of shit. It's
Yeah.
all I've got. You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to watch some of this crap?
Delights
Side,
like.
sidekicks.
I love it. And they're actually kicking to the side.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Who doesn't want a bit of Chuck Norris? You know,
It's funny like that kind of stuff, like where it was TV quality, right? It was obviously like I seem to remember there being a fair amount of like pilots of shows that were released on like a smaller screen. And maybe
yeah,
they didn't get like maybe they didn't have like a countrywide release, but like Mission Galactica: The Cylon Attack, I remember going seeing that at Unit 4 and
yeah,
thinking like it looks like a telly show. This it looks like the telly show. And I know like the first one, even though it was a pilot for telly, that was considered a film as well, and that got a release.
yeah.
Um,
They put it out a little bit back now. It had a DVD release where the
yeah,
pilots have come together as because there was two sort of like piloted bits. The pilot and the first episode, they put them
yeah,
two together to create the first feature length, and they
yeah, yeah,
released that not long back on Blu-ray. I've got that
yeah,
down there, and
yeah,
then the entire series came out, and
yeah,
then Battlestar 1980 come out
yeah,
not long after the back of that.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
I've got all them. I mean, I love
Yeah,
that show. So that's a
yeah,
great show.
yeah. It's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, and brilliant theme as well. It's like one of them. You remember it and you go, yeah, it's probably all right. That, and you go back and you listen, you go, ain't nobody writing TV show themes like that anymore. You don't
Yeah,
go running away singing the theme to The Bad Batch because it's just bleh, and then the title comes on and goes off and you're straight into your show. It's like that thing of enjoying the build up again, like get a bit of a Battlestar Galactica playing, flipping heckers. What a theme.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's me. You mentioned Bad Batch. Have you watched any of the Acolyte yet? Star
I
Wars one.
have, I have, because I'm cursed. If somebody writes Star Wars on a nettle, I'll have to watch that, and I'll watch it for 9 hours. Um, trying to figure out what I make of it. I found it a bit slow. I don't really care that much about anyone in it.
Yeah,
I kind of like the girl who's the lead, or the lead
yeah,
twins, right? I think she's got acting chops. Um, but the new fella's the most interesting, the villain. Um,
yeah.
he,
That's the bit I took away from it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it
um,
was his whole sort of demeanor, his whole outlook on what he's doing.
yeah,
He's just pissed off that he's just not allowed to be
yeah.
a
You
free
see, what
thinking person.
I'm wondering whether this is one of those things. It's not obviously it's not Andor because Andor's like Star Wars for 50-year-olds like me.
Yeah,
It's a slow build up and it's a subtler experience. But Star Wars is Star Wars. You still got to have spaceships and whatever else. But I'm wondering whether this is like one of the first sort of like long form things that's been split into sections, like when we do the comics that we work on, like me and Mike, we, we got into the habit of writing 8 issues that make up a book that you will eventually be able to buy, but you're supposed to buy them as 8 issues, and each one of those eight
yeah,
issues has like a thrilling opening, a bit of a story, some kind of resolution or a cliffhanger at the end to set you up for the next one. So that's 8 sections of a story that have a good beginning, middle, and end, and the whole story needs a beginning, middle, and end told over those
yeah,
8 sections. But some of the books that we do now, they go straight to being books, so we don't have to worry about um, making it into 8 sections. We just worry about the full story. And like the one I'm working on now with him at the minute, another horror for John Carpenter.
yeah,
It feels like a longer burn of the story until we're gonna get to it, but it's working because you're investing more in the characters, you're spending more time in the environment, you're getting used to seeing what you're supposed to be seeing before it all goes to shit. And I've got that feeling about the Acolyte. It feels like they're building to a slightly more interesting story than you would normally churn out in your Ahsokas and your Mandalorians and stuff like that. Because it feels like they want to screw about with what we think the Jedi are. and what they
Yeah,
think this lad's going to be, and all this kind of stuff. Now, they might not do that. Disney has been known to like give you these ideas in the past and say, what do you think it's going to be? And I'm sitting there thinking, Boba Fett on Tatooine as the boss. What, The Sopranos on Tatooine? I'll have a bit of that. I thought it was going to be this violent, like criminal empire story, but it turns out it was
yeah,
like mopeds and rancors. But I'm
yeah,
still, still dug it in some ways.
yeah,
But the acolyte feels like it's not individual episodes that have a thrilling beginning and middle bit and a thrilling end. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like the whoever's written it, the girl who's written it, has written a bigger story, and we're
yeah,
just now, because of the setup and because we're supposed to be getting involved with these characters, it feels like we're just getting to the meat of like what it's going to be. Um, but I mean, when it's done, you wonder whether it's going to continue on into another story or something like that. I imagine it might do, depending on what the figures are being. But this
yeah,
last episode was like the bit in Andor where you'd watched it for 4 or 5 episodes, then they did the heist on that dam, and you think
yeah,
like you've been waiting all this time, and then you get your action, and because you've been waiting and you've been building up to it, it paid off more. And I
yeah,
think that's what's happened here. Yeah, there was bits of people jumping about, and whatever, but when they got to this fella turning up, you're like, oh, okay, this is a bit more interesting. He's just
yeah.
slaughtered a load of kids. It's like,
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah. He's an interesting character.
Yeah,
And up to now, we've watched all the Star Wars stuff that's been on Disney
yeah,
Plus.
yeah,
But I don't know how you felt about it, but I felt the production quality wasn't quite on par with the other stuff.
no, yeah, yeah,
It felt a little bit cheaper.
yeah,
It looked a little bit sus in places. It wasn't of a normal quality, and I don't know if that's done for a reason, because
yeah,
they're predicting they're gonna take this series out longer, so they need the funds to
yeah.
go further with it, or it's just been a natural progression where they thought, well, do you know
Well,
what, we're gonna have to tame some of this down.
well,
Um,
I think it's probably got something to do with the fact that you put a Boba Fett series out, there's an expectation, and so Disney are going to throw money at it. You want a budget of like 3 million an episode, let's go. You can have it. But this is the first. This is one of the first stories set in a different time period that deals
yeah,
with characters nobody knows. So there's nobody in it who we know, really. There's one fella in the background somewhere, but that's always the case with Star Wars. There's always a
yeah,
bloody tree that you've seen before or whatever it is. But this is a totally new venture, so it's probably more of a risk. So they've come to it and they've probably said, you know what, we won't do hour-long episodes. We'll make them 40 minutes or whatever that they are. And these are all new characters. Let's just see if it lands. So my guess is the budget probably wouldn't have been similar to what they would be throwing at Ahsoka, who's
yeah,
turned up in other stuff and is a fan favorite, and they know people are going to watch that. They don't know whether people were going to watch this or not. And sure enough,
yeah,
all the knobheads have turned up saying girls can't write stories and all this
yeah,
bullshit they always say,
yeah.
and think just let them do what they're doing. Go. You don't have to watch anything. God's
No,
sake.
you don't have to tune in. If you don't think
Yeah,
it's for you, don't watch it.
Yeah, I
It's
always
that
say this,
simple.
like, I don't care about football, right? But do I moan that it's on? No, because I
No,
don't watch
no.
it. I don't sit there and go, flipping football. God, I've got to put it on again. Beep, like that, and just sitting there watching it. No, just put
Yeah, yeah.
Cannonball Run on. Put Cannonball Run on again. Or Boys in Blue, Cannon and Ball.
Cannonball.
Oh man, so what did I watch this week? Oh yeah, Prometheus, of course.
Nice.
Just got that itch every so often to go in and say, is it terrible? I still think it is quite maligned, that film. There are obvious mistakes in it, like you don't run away from a rolling spaceship in the straight line,
Yeah.
and you don't go petting alien snakes with a big fang in their head and all that stuff. But there's something in it, right? And it troubles me because I get to that end bit, and that right, the last 5 seconds of the film, you've got a girl who's given birth to an alien, um, who's carrying the head of an android who knows how to fly an alien spaceship, and they've taken off and they've flown off an alien world, and they're going to go and find humanity's creator and try and kill him. And you're
Yeah.
like, and you think that's like Isaac Asimov level exciting sci-fi, that, you know. And I look for it all the way through the film. Every time I watch it, I come away from it, I think I've just finished the end, and there's bits of it I can't remember. I better watch it again just in case. And it's seductive because the ships look great, and
Yeah, God, yeah. It's,
everything looks incredible. You know what I mean? There's just so much stuff that's right in it, but at the same time, you think, what were you doing, man? He said this week, didn't he, Scott? He said, I wish they'd asked me to do the sequel to Alien, and I'm like,
right.
I wish they didn't, because we wouldn't have had aliens then.
Yeah.
But
Do you know what? Go on, sorry.
no, go on, mate. I'm talking enough. Go on.
No. I said I've not watched anything this week.
Right.
Like I said, we went out to watch Flash Gordon on Saturday. We didn't even watch anything on Sunday.
Yeah.
No, we didn't watch anything on Sunday because Joe was down. So my friend Joe from London was up. Sorry, from London. So we met them on Sunday morning for breakfast and stuff. So it was like 2 o'clock before we got back. So we didn't watch anything on Sunday, which is unlike us because me and Janine normally watch something on a Sunday. But I've not watched anything this week, which is unlike me.
No, I'm doing that thing, you know, that a current phenomenon of like, I'm saying I'm watching stuff, but it's just when I've either got 5 minutes on the bog, or I'm making a brew and I'll put a bit more of it on and stuff like that. So there's me talking about committing to films and stuff, but all these things that I've seen a million times, there's a kind of a comfort of having it on in the background there. And what was I watching? Scorpion. Have you ever watched the telly show Scorpion?
No.
Right. Honestly, you're right. I
No,
shouldn't
I've not heard of
explain
that.
what it is, but I'm going to, because it's freaking brilliant. Right, it's quite a recent series, right? It's written by the guy who it's the character of the lead character in the show is a real guy, and and he's the inspiration for this show, right? And like you get like it's an old fashioned thing of in telly where like the introduction is introduced by someone.
Yeah.
It comes on and it says, my name is Walter, whatever his name is, and he says, I've got a genius IQ of 197. That's higher than Einstein. And then there's like clips of him like racing cars and saving people at a dam and all this. Right? I run a team of geniuses called Scorpion. And he goes through the team, and he goes, we've got a behavioural specialist, and it's Finch with a pork pie hat, Finch from American Pie, and then we've got a mechanic who's like dead good at making machines, like BA, and we've got a guy who's a human calculator with a photographic memory, and then he says, and we've also got Paige, who's like, she's normal, he says, like as if like geniuses and people who like are a bit different are not supposed to be normal, right? And he says she's normal and she helps us manage our emotions while we help her look after her genius son, right? And so they've got Robert Patrick, like
Right.
T1000, who
Yeah.
was working for the FBI or whatever, Homeland, sorry. He comes in every week and says, got a new mission for you. There's a sub gone down in the bay over there, and we have to figure out how to get it out with like 2 magnets and a knife, right? And so they go, and they figure it all out, right? So honestly, just watch the pilot episode and you'll realize how frigging daft it is. There was one episode, and within one episode, they had a guy abseiling down a dam, swinging left to right like Jurassic Park to try and fill in cracks to stop the dam from doing. They in the same episode they had a tidal wave bomb. They fired a rocket into space with somebody's sister's ashes in it, and they did an underwater rescue in a tube. I'm thinking, it's like a 5-year-old's written it. It's like somebody who hasn't even been born yet has written a telly show. What should we have them do next? Or I don't know, get kidnapped by a load of Russians in Africa, and like figure out how to make a helicopter out of grass. Right? it's proper old school 80s telly, right? And utter nonsense. But there's a comfort factor in watching it because I've seen it before and it's biz. But
What's it on?
it was on Prime, but Prime have pulled that Prime trick of like, hey, get watching this. Like it's for free. I think great. That's what I pay you money for. Free stuff.
Yeah,
Biddly biddly bee. Halfway through season 3, bang, you have to pay for it now.
right.
Flipping hate that, when you're in the middle of something and they've just decided today's the day we switch it off. There's too many people watching it for free. Let's charge them for it.
Yeah,
So
there used to be murder just for like starting seasons and then just going, no one's watching this. We'll just knock it on the head. And you're going, I'm invested now. Just fucking go to the end.
It's one thing. It's one thing cancelling it, but suddenly deciding, while they obviously have the figures of people watching it. I don't know whether they decide to cut the free bit off and start charging for it because they're watching it, or they cut the free bit off and start charging because no one's watching it.
Yeah.
But it always seems to happen. Got half the way through Monk and they just went, nah, you're going to have to pay now. I think, I'm already paying you?
Yeah.
Oh, God. But anyway, yeah, Scorpion's one for me where I was going through Scorpion. I was happy just making me breakfast in the kitchen, put a bit of Scorpion on like that. I was getting through loads and then he just turned it off. So I thought, I can't be bothered starting another telly series now. I'll just go back through loads of films I've already got.
I'll have to check that out. I've not seen that.
It's so daft. It's entertaining because they all take it dead serious.
Right.
And they've got like, oh, I can't keep going on about Scorpion. I'm going to lose friends if I do. It's awful, but it's brilliant.
So are they playing it? Are they playing it straight? But it's comedic.
It's like the A-Team, right?
Right.
I don't think it's supposed to be comedic, but it's just the sheer idiocy of having a telly show about, like, it's classic 80s stuff. That's why I enjoy it so much, because it's like Knight Rider is a man. He's in his car and he can get, sometimes goes in a truck and he's got a posh boss and his car does jumps. It's like, it's a dead simple idea. He's a team of geniuses. One's they're good at numbers. This little autistic kid is autistic, so therefore he's dead good at maths, and he helps them on missions too sometimes. And like, he helped him like save someone in a secret US jet once by hacking. And I'm thinking, what? Right. But it's literally some kid who's seen 80s TV shows and saying, I want to make one of them now.
Yeah.
And it has no airs and graces about being serious. And every country they visit looks like Scrubland in LA, because they always go to the same place. It's like, where we're going, Africa, that looks like LA. Was this Bosnia? Put a green filter on it. It's dumb as anything, but it's entertaining as well. So yeah, because that finished, I've been back on the films and just like taking ones that I find comfort in bit by bit. But,
yeah, it's cool. I mean, I've picked some stuff up recently. You know what I mean? I have grabbed some stuff. It's not as though. I showed you the other day, but I managed to find a copy of Gumbus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who doesn't want a copy of Gumbus? It's actually really, really good if anybody remembers it. It works.
For me, that.
Yeah, it works really well. And it's only a PG, so you know exactly what you're getting. You know what I mean? So
it's getting to the point where your room is going to be an exact replica of Mr. Flicks on Poolstock Lane from 1982.
Oh, mate, I was doing a video the other day, and Darren from over at the Slaughtered Lamb podcast.
Oh yeah.
Messaged me like panicking, saying, "Mate, I thought halfway through that show that you did that everything was just going to come down, collapsing on you." So I'm just basically checking in to see if you're all right. He said, "I've never seen as much stuff in a room." I said, "Mate, you want to get in here?"
You can't. You won't be able to at some point. This corner with Star Wars figures, you can't turn around anymore.
Hello, Adam. How's it going, man? I hope you're well. But yeah, so I picked that up. A couple of VHSs. I picked this up. I said it was for Janine because obviously she collects this franchise, this line, but I couldn't help myself because it was a media book, and it's just been brought out, and I found it dead cheap.
What is it?
Who doesn't want to be in a Kerber movie?
Me.
Yeah, but so on a media book, check that out.
Ace.
What?
Weren't they like direct competition for Transformers at the time?
At the time,
getting my dates mixed up.
No, it's exactly the same time. It was absolutely massive when it came out.
Yeah,
well, I think obviously at that point girls needed something. And this was a winner. You know what I mean? You've been in our house, you've seen Janine's Kerber collection. It's
I have.
So I said, "Oh, this one's for you, love." Not, I'm a massive nerd and wanted to start collecting media books.
Yeah.
So,
Adam says, "Okay, how are you guys doing?" I am fat. That's how I'm doing. Thanks for asking, dude.
I'm doing well, mate. I'm always well on a Thursday, me, because it's the start of my weekend.
Stay off for you, innit?
Yeah. So I have no more work till Monday morning now.
Yeah.
So I'm always cool on a Thursday.
Whereas I have work every day for the rest of my life. Self-employment. The benefits of having to work for yourself, yeah.
Like I say, I've still not done anything with them yet. They're just sat here. I've not even laid them away.
Right.
But some of the cool titles that we got from the Vice Press show, the Arrow.
Yeah. So they've got a sale, haven't they, Arrow, at the minute?
They have, yeah. They do it every year. The is it called the summer camp sale? Camp summer sale. Yeah, they do it every year. I mean, Arrow probably runs 6 sales in a year now. This is the prime time to start buying Arrow stuff if you want it, because most of the titles, mainstream titles, are down to like £9. And they're worth £9 of anybody's money. You know what I mean? The amount of special features and shit you get on them. That's beyond Reanimator. I mean, look at the amount of special features on the back of that. It's just loaded. So I got I got Naked Lunch.
Yeah. I've not seen that for ages.
No, I've not seen it for a while. This is what I'm quite interested in. People have been saying it's okay. Sacred Spirit.
Sacred Spirit. Don't know that one.
No, I wasn't. I think it's a Spanish film. But apparently it's really, really good.
But is it as good as Adam's just said, just finished Beverly Hills Cop 4?
Oh, no.
I've not seen it. I've not seen it yet. Have you seen it?
No, I've not. No, the reviews aren't coming back too well for it.
Have they not? See, I've got a couple of mates who've seen it, and they said they've gone in expecting 3, so it works, because as long as you don't get 3, you'll be all right, you know.
Yeah, it's 3. It's got to be better than 3. 3 is just an abomination. You know what I mean?
Well, these guys are saying that it's quite good. They're all saying they like it.
Hey, so Pugwall Matt is the gentleman that used my little bit of footage in his recent documentary video.
Brilliant. Yeah,
is such a recommendation. What I loved about that was you get my lovely review of Creepers, followed by fucking Gangrel the wrestler. I was like, how does Gangrel follow me? That's amazing. You know what I mean? I was like over the moon with it. But no, it was cool, man. You did a really good job on it, Matt. Adam said it was good, so he liked it. Matt said he liked it quite a lot. Yeah. Then we might be. I loved it. Added to a lot of Easter eggs. Cool. So we might be onto something. It's got to be better than Coming to America 2, because that was a pile of shit.
Oh God, yeah, that didn't work, did it?
No, not whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just fucking
But the thing
stunk
is,
on every level.
when Murphy's on fire again, even now he's on fire. When Dolomite Is My Name was brilliant. I was laughing my head off through that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a few years back, but what's the one with Steve Martin where they're making the film and they're chasing like the
Or
star?
yeah.
You know the one I mean? Bowfinger, yeah.
Bowfinger. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. That the last couple of trailers for Beverly Hills Cop 4, I've gone, yeah, I can't let myself get excited for this. And the last couple of trailers, I've gone, hey, hold on a minute. I think they've just got me. I think I'm in, you know.
Yeah. Do you know what it is though? And I think from a nostalgia level is that the trailers I saw, yeah, they look okay,
Yeah.
but Eddie Murphy should just be aging gracefully, and he's not doing.
Yeah.
He's just refusing to get old
Yeah.
by painting a hairline in perfectly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
dyeing his hair jet black, and I'm thinking, dude, just go gracefully. Just go gracefully. You was an absolute legend. You were an absolute legend, and you're doing
Yeah.
yourself no favors at all by the way you look.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if you think about, there's loads of Hollywood people and they can't let go of the fact that, you know, they were famous for a number of things, but their looks at some point, and it must be hard to let go if that's been your whole life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's got to be, especially to have a
Yeah.
career like he had. There was like the heaviest heights possible. You know what I mean? The guy was
Yeah.
a global megastar for a period of time,
Yeah.
and then the rug got pulled from underneath him, and he was doing like just fucking really shit things whatever he could get hold of.
Yeah.
And then just fade into obscurity, and then lo and behold, it's like Netflix have thrown a load of money at him.
Yeah. I think what he struggled with for years though was he was always good, and he's Eddie Murphy, so he's funny, he's naturally funny, but he was just picking so much biz, such
Yeah,
rubbish films for so long that weren't written well enough for him, you
yeah.
know,
What was the crappy sci-fi one that he did? Like a bit
Pluto
later on in his
Nash,
career.
Pluto
There you
Nash,
go, Pluto
yeah,
Nash.
Pluto Nash. There's a mate of mine, Ray Curry, I used to work with, and he used to enjoy going onto um, Wikipedia pages of Eddie Murphy films and just putting like facts in that weren't real. Like Eddie Murphy actually wrote Pluto Nash. Did you know that? Eddie Murphy wrote Pluto Nash after a bus driver that he grew up with. Like, and he's just making it all up. So there's loads of information on Eddie Murphy online on Wikipedia that is not true at all. Oh man.
Matt says, really glad you like the doc, Tony. Thanks again for doing it. Good call on Coming to America too. It's so awful, especially with the
Oh,
first
it
one
is,
being
yeah.
so good. Great call on
Yeah.
Bowfinger too, chaps.
Yeah, both that bit in Bowfinger when I still think it's Steve Martin's best thing he's ever done, and he doesn't even say anything. There's a bit where he comes back to his office, and everyone who's been getting to help him to make his film, they're all stood saying, and it's something about asking. He's been to a meeting or something. And they're dying to find out whether we're going to make this film or whether it's whatever it is, and they're waiting on him, and they're saying, "So what is it?" And he goes, "Oh, hi guys, how's it going?" And they're like, "Can you tell us?" And all three of them are waiting like this, and he looks around the room and he's trying not, whatever it is, it's bad news. So he sees his dog and he goes, "Come here, boy," and it's just the way that he thinks that's gonna make them all go, "Oh, all right, well, let's forget it." He goes, "Come here, boy." It tickled me about that. Oh man. Oh, what was he saying? John
Eddie does
Ashton's.
well. Josh is barely hanging on, but the three of them, the chemistry is
Oh,
great. Yeah,
John
man.
Ashton's thingy, and John Ashton's Taggart, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I've got all the time in the world after Midnight Run for John
yeah,
Ashton.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I'll be watching it. Yeah, you've convinced me. You two, I'll be watching it for sure. I haven't got Netflix anymore, so maybe I'll just watch it out my window or something. Yeah, I'm getting
It's
close to telling Amazon what to do as well because you think when they started all the streaming services, it's like, here you go, loads of stuff you can watch, endless films, loads of TV shows and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on a minute, we're going to split it so that half of them aren't free anymore. And now we've got to the stage with Amazon where even the stuff you're paying for has ads in it. And I'm like, what? And the prices have gone up. I'm thinking you're
Disney's
going to
just
be,
Disney's just done the same thing. I turned Disney on last Friday to watch Acolyte, and I thought, "What's this?" It wants me to re-sign in. It's a bit
yeah,
weird, so I re-signed in. Lo and
yeah,
behold, fucking adverts are on it now. So I'm paying for a service that they're
I
still
know,
pumping adverts into as well as. I'm like, fuck you. I
yeah.
mean, I'm not paying you any more money just to get rid of adverts.
Don't get that with a DVD.
You bollocks.
Well, no, actually, you
Or a vi-
do.
or a, or a, or a, vid- or a video.
Yeah, if it is a good DVD, you actually do. Beethoven 3. Check out these 20 like trailers before you start watching your children's hockey film or whatever.
I do, I do, I do like a trailer though. I'm partial to a
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there was a point where somebody discovered the sound, boo, right? And
Yeah,
when they discovered that sound, boo, and fade into black 3 or 4 times at the beginning of a trailer, every trailer became the same. And I
yeah,
mean, I know there's the whole thing where people are going like, here's a trailer for Star Wars, but done in a 90s style, or here's a trailer for this done in a whatever. And I get it, it's funny, but there was a point where trailers suddenly became the same. And before that, it was like a trailer could have been anything. I don't know if you've ever seen the original trailers for Star Wars. It's just
yeah,
some fella talking and like tiny little snippets. There's a thing in space and some
yeah.
robots and a flying thing, and there's now to it really. And you see like how trailers are cut now. It's boom and like fade to black, and you think, come on. And horror's even more so. You know exactly what you're getting in a horror trailer.
Well,
Like,
most horror trailers have give you the whole premise of the film in before you've seen it now.
oh well, yeah. Well, you have your 5 second trailer for the trailer, don't you? And I get it. You've got to get people
Uh,
interested in YouTube, but it's like Transformers Rise of the
yeah.
Beat, beginning, middle, end, like that, and you don't. And you think I've seen it in 5 seconds. Yeah, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that biz. If I can steer clear of like if there's something I really want to see, then trailers is never a good idea. I think. Um, what's something that came out recently, and I was like, oh, that was it. It was Arcadian, the Nicolas
Right.
Cage one. I
Yeah.
believe it had a theatrical release because we weren't going to get it here.
Yeah.
And so I just watched it through my window. Um,
Yeah.
and then it got a release because I know Kermode reviewed it and a few other people reviewed it. But what I loved about that was I was dying to see them creatures. And I'm looking everywhere online. I just want to see what the creature design is. I've heard a few people on Twitter say it's like, check this out, and the trailer had nothing of them in it. Like there's one
Yeah.
frame where you can maybe see something,
Yeah. Just
but
sort of part of its back as it's
yeah,
going
yeah.
through the frame. Yeah.
But like I sent a load of screenshots of it to our Pete the other day because I took a load of screenshots where you can see it a little bit clearer. You watch the whole film, you still don't know what they look like, and so
Yeah.
I went did a deep dive on Photoshop and brightened this and knocked down the contrast and everything. Flipping it, that's the maddest creature design I've seen since The Host. Absolutely bonkers, right?
That's a banger of a creature as well. The host.
No, it is, yeah, yeah. But it's like one of them ones where like you think, well, what's that? Like, what's going on there? I need to see that. Or Cloverfield was the other one. We talked about that, didn't
Yeah.
we? About the fact that everyone wanted to see what Cloverfield looked like. I remember somebody had drawn like a massive whale with 6 legs and a big tail walking past the Statue of Liberty, and everyone thought that was the creature for ages. And I thought, oh, not that good. And then when we finally got it, I think, what's that? Now they got backwards legs.
Yeah. The
But
whole
yeah,
thing, the whole ethos that went around with that film, though, that was nuts. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah,
remember you coming to our house going, look, they've got a website, they've got a designated website for
yeah,
this.
yeah.
And like you can Google these fake companies and like it's taking you all over the place. And then
Yeah.
about 3
Wasn't
weeks
that?
later, somebody realised you could flip the photograph round the Polaroid photo on the website and it had some writing on the back and you was
Yeah,
going,
wasn't
fucking hell.
didn't think he'd do that as well because it was Abrams, wasn't it? It was J.J. Abrams early on in his
Yeah.
when he started doing films and stuff. he did that with Lost, and I remember Lost being
Yeah,
a online phenomena because I seem to remember
yeah,
somebody. What was happening was people were writing like fan fiction of stuff, and people were finding it online, going, "Oh, is that what that polar bear is?" and stuff like this. I mean, I seem to remember somebody wrote this thing about. You remember the fella who's had his kid with him, Walt,
yeah.
and his kid Walt went missing or whatever, and somebody wrote this like scene about them going through these corridors and going down the hatch and everything, and stumbling across undead Walt, like just coming at him like that. And I'm going, is that real? Like everyone at work's going, what? And what's happening was like you were getting more invested in the stuff people were making up online than they were in the show because they weren't explaining nothing in the show. They never did.
Yeah,
But that's when the internet was like just like jumping about, going, well, what should we do with this? Let's just make a load of biz up.
yeah. That's when it was cool. When the internet was cool.
Yeah, so the
You know what I
internet
mean?
was cool when it wasn't like my dad tried using Facebook a while back, and he said, "I don't know what's going on." I said, "I don't know anyone." He says, "Nobody knows anyone on it anymore because it's all some mad like TikTok clip of like 5 seconds of some
Yeah,
obscure ninja film that you've never heard of before, that you never bothered watching. It's just biz at the minute. It's just like a stream of biz, isn't it?"
yeah. It's all the social media platforms at the moment are suffering in one way or another.
Yeah,
It's really difficult to use any of it the way you want to use it.
it's the Wigan
Um,
Todayifying of the internet. Wigan Today is our local newspaper. I think it's run by an AI thing
and
or
and a
or
and a
some kind of
chimp.
bot, or yeah, a chimp who's just hammering a typewriter. Um, because every article is utter nonsense. It's either a house for sale in another town or a murder. And they use this big headline: "There's been a murder in this field." Where? Wisconsin, right?
Yeah,
And you think, what's that got to do with my tiny little town? But Wigan Today has the most incredible template for a website, which is you have to scroll for 20 minutes past adverts for everything on earth to read 5 lines of a story. I read a story from them the other week, and the headline was longer than the story. They are garbage, but can't stop looking. Can't stop
no,
looking. Yeah,
it's poor, isn't it? I mean, how many people have they got actually writing those articles? You know what I
I think
mean?
it's just one. I think it's just one
Is it?
fella who has a drink. Um, he has a drink and he'll go, "Oh, well, I'm going to write about, I've just had an apple. Apples found in Spain," or something like that. Plonk, post, absolute bilge. I wouldn't mind being a guest editor for a week. I'd fire that Tory, and fire that Tory worm. And right, someone's leaving us. Who's that? Adam.
Adam, okay, guys, catch you later. Followed you. Thank you very much, Adam. It's very much
Cheers, dude.
appreciated, mate.
Thanks for that,
It's
mate.
we're always up for new subscribers and people checking the content out.
Yeah,
If you just want to hear my dulcet tones, just slide back down the other videos, mate. You'll see tons and tons and tons of stuff I've put on previous. If
yeah,
you like talking about sort of 80s biz films or cartoons or weird TV shows from the 70s and 80s, then this may be the channel for you.
yeah.
Going
And if you
forward,
want
it's
to
going to
hear,
alter a little bit, but
yeah, and if you want to hear me talk for 40 minutes about a local newspaper website, then come back next time.
that's
They're bad saws.
well, thanks for the subscribe, mate. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, cheers, dude. Right, okay, what time are you on? A minute.
We're a quarter to 12 now, mate.
Couple of minutes. Done all right there, aren't we? This
Yeah,
live thing means that we're not limited to the 30 minutes we were trying to do, but it also means
because
we are
we
banging
are,
on.
yes, and we are total cheapskates. That's why we were trying to get the 2 hours free from StreamYard. Thank you, StreamYard.
Yeah, top
Um,
stuff.
Well, no, we can wrap it though, mate. Again, for you guys that are going to catch this up on the rewatch, I'll leave a few links down below in the descriptions to our Facebook pages, to our other
Put one in
socials.
for Wigan Today so they can see what it's like.
I could put a link to Wigan today in there. Um,
New
I've-
sandwich discovered in Africa. Headline.
two Wigan boys talk about Wigan today on YouTube channel.
Pictures from a nightclub from 14 years ago of two boys. Absolute biz.
It's just terrible. Again, everybody that's contributing in the chat, thank you very much.
Yeah, it is.
It's very much appreciated. Okay, see you guys. I got
Got
to
stuff, dude. Yeah.
take care, mate. Look after yourself.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Matt, for joining in as well, there, mate.
Yeah, cheers, fella.
Again, I'll leave a description and a link down below to Matt's channel, Pugwall 316. So I'll leave a link to the documentary that he's just done, because it's definitely worth a watch. It's really, really good. It's really entertaining. I hope he does some more, because I'd like us to get involved a little bit more with him. Because Matt's actually got a link to Wigan, which is quite cool. Yeah, he's married into Wigan. His wife's from this neck of the woods.
Right.
So
now,
he's an
like,
honorary Wiganer.
Right, so he bathes in gravy and stuff.
Yeah. and likes a pie on a berm.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you make me hungry. Right.
But again, everybody, take care. We'll see you all again soon. And as always,
keep it cult.
Keep it cult. Bye.
See you later. Bye. Ping.